Good afternoon, it is Friday and it is 12:25. I need to go out very soon. Siobhan is on her way and I'm very excited. She's coming staying at mine for the weekend and I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a great time. So I want to update you on how I'm doing with my reading, but I have a parcel as well. This is from Publishers Group UK. So yeah, I'm not sure what's in here. I am waiting on a book, so maybe it's that. I mean, I'm hoping it's that so I can get a head start on it. Yes, it is. Outstanding. Okay, so I am reading this book as part of... I'm reading this book as part of a Bookstagram tour with Dark Rooms Tours. I think that's what they're called, Dark Rooms Tours. And I'm really looking forward to this. It sounds really good. So this is The Twin by Natasha Preston and I will be doing my post on the 9th of March, which I believe is a Monday. And I'm really looking forward to it. It's not a very thick book, which is great, and it's very floppy. Really looking forward to picking this one up. Thank you to Dark Room Tours for reaching out and asking if I want to take part in this, and also for picking me to do so. I am super hyped, can't wait to pick this up. So let me tell you where I'm up to with my reading, because I've done quite a bit actually, but I've still got quite a bit to do. So, and me and Siobhan have got separate, like, different reading plans than what I'm planning on already reading this weekend. So that's great. But I'll go into those later when she gets here, because I don't know the full ins and outs of what we're doing, and I need to nip back to my mum and dad's to go and pick up one of the books that she'll be reading. So let me tell you about The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. I'm not much further on with this, to be honest. I didn't listen to a great deal yesterday while I was tidying the house, so I'm only 86 pages into this. I've still got quite a ways to go. I don't think I'm going to finish this for Thrillerathon. I think it's not going to be one I get to by the end of the weekend, so it's probably going to run into next week, unfortunately, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Sometimes. I'm enjoying it. It's going really well. I still can't decide whether or not I've read it before, but I don't know. I'm enjoying it anyway. Rose Madder by Stephen King. I am finally up to date, and now I just need to read today's pages, which is the last like 50 pages, I think. So yeah, I'm really excited to get to the end, because I really want to see if you've read this before, like the big chunk of it has happened now, and it's just like the last page 549, last chapter 10 and epilogue to go. So I'm really looking forward to getting to the end of this. I've been really enjoying it, and honestly I think it's going to be a 5-star, and I know that Bobby's going to be over the fucking moon to hear about this, but I do genuinely believe it's going to be about a 5-star. It's been so good, you know, to like buddy read it with them. Obviously I think Bobby finished hers the other day. I think she finished it like Wednesday. I don't know how far Monica is with hers, or Cody, but I think Gav's behind maybe a day or so. But yeah, it's going really well and I'm really enjoying it, and I can't wait to get to the end today. I am planning on listening to this while I nip to my parents', so in the car on the way to my parents', in the car on the way to Wigan to pick Siobhan up, and then I will listen to it later on, I think, when we're settled in and we're reading and stuff. So yeah, I need to finish this one off. And then Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. I'm buddy reading this with Monica, who I have met through Bobby during our Rose Madder readathon. So we are both buddy reading this together now. I'm on chapter 10. I'm 117 pages in. I should be, by the end of today, it's not going to happen, at part 2, which is page 251. So I should be there by the end of today. I don't think that's going to happen, because obviously me and Siobhan have other reading plans, and we've got a book that we're buddy reading that I'm really behind on as well. So I need to sort of focus on this a little bit this weekend if I can. But yeah, once I've finished Rose Madder, I think it'll be easier to sort of focus on this one. I think I'm probably going to put the Hunger Games down till next week. So try and focus on this, and then the final one I need to focus on is The 4th of July by James Patterson. I am super behind on this. I have sort of spent this morning, about an hour and a half this morning, trying to catch up a little bit. So I'm now up to date with Wednesday's pages, but obviously I've got Thursdays and then today's pages to catch up. So by the end of today I need to be at 352 if I can, and I'm only on page 212. So I've got about 140 pages to read today if I can, but I know Siobhan's behind on this as well. She might be able to catch up with this though, because I think this is what she's reading on the train on the way down here. So yeah, so by the end of the weekend I need to have this finished, and I will have Rose Madder finished, and hopefully I will be up to date with this. Fingers crossed, I hope I am. Make a move, and I will be back in a little bit when Siobhan is here and you guys can say hi. Well, she'll say hi to you guys anyway. And yeah, I will see you in a little while. Bye for now. Hi team, I hope you're all well. Today is Saturday. It's currently 10 to 12 in the afternoon, and my lovely friend Siobhan is here. Say hi. Hi. If you aren't subscribed to Siobhan's channel, go and check her out. I'll leave a link down below. We are planning on reading lots this weekend, yes. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Yeah. She got here yesterday afternoon and we've read Sweet Fanny Adams so far, so it's going well. But I just wanted to let you know that I finished Rose Madder yesterday. I have given this 4 out of 5 stars. I really, oh, my battery's dying. I really loved it. It was amazing. I've given it 4 out of 5 stars only because I've really struggled this week with a trigger in another book that has caused chaos with me struggling a little bit trying to get through this. So just a trigger in general I didn't know I had that has made me feel a little bit indifferent with the book partway through. But other than that, I really loved it. It definitely is my favourite Stephen King book so far. So kudos to Bobby for recommending that. Really enjoyed it. It was fantastic. Highly recommend. I'm still reading The Hunger Games. I was going to put this down, but I've decided not to, and I'll explain why in a second. So I'm currently on page 148. I read a little bit more of this morning, so that's going well. I'm enjoying it. Sorry if the angle's changed, my battery died. Priory of the Orange Tree, I've DNF'd. I have made this decision based on the fact that this is very heavy. I believe it gets quite political in parts as well, and I don't like politics. If you didn't know that, I don't know where you've been. But I am just struggling with it a lot. There are literally 15 pages in the back of this book with characters in it. Like, I'm struggling, and I'm just not sure if high fantasy is for me, so I'm not sure how I'm going to get on with Brandon Sanderson. Like next month I'm reading, not next month, April, I'm reading Mistborn in April. We've ended up putting that back. So yeah, I'm DNFing this. I'm gutted about it, to be honest, but I'm just struggling. So I'm DNFing this, which is why I am continuing with the Hunger Games at the moment. I was going to put this back till next week and try and focus on the Priory, but I can't do it, so that's happening. And then I'm continuing on with 4th of July, hoping to finish this weekend. I'm currently on page 212, so I'm literally bang on halfway through the book, which is great. So hoping to finish this weekend. And then me and Siobhan have decided to pick 2 books each for each other, so to read this weekend. So obviously we've got our buddy read of 4th of July to finish, both of us, and then the books that Siobhan has picked for me are The Dry by Jane Harper, which is obviously a thriller because they're the sort of books that Siobhan reads, and I'm really looking forward to it. This was on my TBR for the year anyway, so it works in really well, and I believe it's set in Australia, and it's like Brothers or something. Is it Brothers? No, I'm thinking of a different book. Thinking completely of a different book. Oh, there's a drought.
Yeah.
Okay. And something happens. There's a policeman called Aaron Falk.
He's amazing.
Cool. So I'm excited about this one. I've had this on my shelves for a really long time now, so I'm really looking forward to picking this one up. And then Siobhan has brought this book for me, and it's I Am Not a Serial Killer by Dan Wells, and it sounds really good actually. While you nipped out the room, I just read the blurb and it sounds, the synopsis. It sounds really good. For some strange reason, I thought this was going to be a non-fiction.
Oh.
I don't know why I had that in my head. Yeah. So I thought it was going to be like talking with psychopaths.
Oh.
And I thought it was going to be based on that. Yeah.
Fiction. Yeah.
So I think this, I'm actually more looking forward to this now that I know it's fiction.
Yeah.
Because I was concerned if I was going to have to physically read.
There's some, like, obviously there's the serial killer names and stuff that are real.
Yeah.
But the whole story is fiction.
So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be good, and it's a shorter one as well, so
yeah, it's really quick to get through.
Looking forward to that.
The font is like quite short on
yeah
page,
so those are my reading plans this weekend. Hopefully and I'm looking forward to them. I don't think I'll get the Hunger Games finished this weekend, but I'll just carry on with it into next week. And then, yeah, those are my plans. But if you want to find out what Siobhan's reading from me, go and check out her channel, because it will be in her vlog. You're not gonna find out all the juicy gossip in this channel.
No,
so go and check out, yeah, go and check out Siobhan's, and I'll leave a link to the video that you're looking for down below, but I'll also leave a link in general to her channel, so you can go and subscribe. Go and do it, she's amazing. Go check her out. So we'll keep you posted on how we get on with reading, but I will check back in with you later. Bye for now. Hello, it is 10 to 3 in the AM on
Sunday
morning. I just got a bit confused over my days. I have just finished I Am Not a Serial Killer by Dan Wells. Yes, this took me all day. No, I wasn't reading it all day. We kept stopping and talking. So I would have read a lot more had we not been doing that, but it's been a good day. It's been fun and it's been chilled, and I really enjoyed this. I don't want to tell you too much about it because I feel like you need to go in it not knowing everything.
Yeah, it's best not knowing a lot.
So it's basically about a kid who's like 15.
Yeah, he's 15. Called
John Wayne Cleaver, and his mum runs a mortuary underneath the house, like not in the basement or anything, but downstairs in the house. They live upstairs, and he is seeing a therapist, and he struggles with thinking that he is going to be a serial killer and trying to control these urges every single day. And that's about as much as I want to tell you, because I think you should just go into it blind, really.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, read the back by all means, because it doesn't give anything away.
It basically just
at
says
all.
what you just said.
Yeah. But yeah, just go into it blind. It's really, really good, and I highly recommend it. I've given it 4 out of 5 stars. I found nothing wrong with it. It was just a case of like, I just didn't fully feel like it was a 5 stars, but it was really, really good. I've given it 4 out of 5 stars, and it's part of a series apparently, so I'm going to continue the series, and I'm looking forward to it. So a good shout from Siobhan. I'm really happy with it. And tomorrow, well, I say tomorrow, later on.
Yeah. When we get up.
Yeah, later on, I will be picking up The Dry by Jane Harper. I'm looking forward to diving into this one. I'm going to try and get the audiobook, because there's no way I'm going to finish this tomorrow with the rate that we've been going. Like,
yeah.
This was a 270-page book, and it's taken me the whole day to get through. Whereas, yeah, this is a 400-page book. No, I'm hoping to get this done tomorrow. It will be really good. But I really wanted to get through this because this is Siobhan's book, so she will obviously take this home when she goes back on Monday. But this is my book, so if I at least get through the majority of this, that would be cool.
You can still continue because it's not my copy.
Yeah, I can run into next week with it. Also, with regards to 4th of July, we've decided to put that back till next week. So we were going to read Shadow and Bone next week, but we're going to put that back to, we only have 3 buddy reads, we only have 3 buddy reads set up for March, so we're going to put Shadow and Bone back to the first week of March and do that as our first buddy read for March. Yeah. And then finish 4th of July this coming week. So that's kind of takes the pressure off a little bit.
It does, yeah.
Because I've still got quite a few books left on my TBR for Feb, and we wanted to not rush the other books that we're wanting to read this weekend for like this little challenge, if you like, by trying to rush through the 4th of July. So we have put that to one side for now. So that's my update. I'm going to go to bed. I'm really, really tired. It's 3 AM again, which is what we did yesterday. Yeah. And tomorrow we can't have a too late night because we need to get up really early. Yeah. Your train's dead early on Monday, isn't it?
It is. I don't even know what time it is. Like, it's past to finish.
Yeah. So, and I'm going straight to work after I drop you off. So we need to have an early-ish night tomorrow.
Yeah. And I'm really bad for getting up late.
Yeah. I'll have to make sure I'm like knocking on your door or whatever. Yeah. Getting you up.
So terrible.
So yeah, gonna go to bed, and then tomorrow we're gonna to Tesco because Siobhan wants a copy of Blood Orange.
Yes, I'm so excited to read it.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that they will have it on sale. They should do because the paperback's just come out. So I'm hoping they've got it on sale, and it might be on like a 2 for £8, and she can get another book maybe. Yeah. And then you can read that one. Yeah. It's a great one. By the way, if you liked The Silent Patient, pick up Blood Orange by Harriet Tice. It's outstanding. Fantastic psychological thriller. Pick it up. It's aces. I'm gonna go to bed because I'm rambling and I'm very tired. So yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Hi team, I hope you're all well. It is now Monday and I am just wanting to wrap this vlog up. Siobhan is home safe and sound, and it's been a great weekend. We've had a lot of fun, we've read a lot of books between us, and we've had a good catch up and a good chin wag, watched a few YouTube videos. It's been a lot of fun. I've had a really good time. I'm really tired now, it's after work now, so it's 10 to 5, so I dropped Siobhan off this morning at the station at about 10 to 7 in the morning, and then went straight to work. So I was really early in work. I usually get to work for 9, but I was in work for 25 past 7 this morning. So I've come home early, not as early as I'd hoped because work ran over, but I'll take it off tomorrow. So yeah, so I just wanted to wrap up and let you know what I actually read this weekend. A couple of the books that I did read this weekend will no longer be with me because they were Siobhan's books, but I can let you know what I read. So let's start off with the beginning of the weekend. I managed to finish Rose Madder, which I gave 4 out of 5 stars. I really love this. This will be my favourite King book at this point. I don't know what my favourite King book was before this. Probably Misery, actually, which was the last King book I read. So we'll see whether or not this continues to be a trait, but I highly doubt it. I really enjoyed this. I do highly recommend it. It's following Rose, whose husband Norman is a cop, but he beats her. He's very violent towards her, and she wants to eventually, after a chapter or 2, she wants to run away from him. She steals his bank card and she runs away, and the story is then following Rose trying to get her life back together and try and find herself as an actual human being, because she's been with Norman for a very long time, and then also following Norman, who is trying to find Rose as well. So it's a very good book. Just be careful. Trigger warnings from the top of my head. There's probably there's plenty more, but the most severe trigger warnings in here are violence, sexual violence, rape, miscarriage. So just be very, very careful of that. There is also a sort of slight paranormal element to this as well. It's very, very good, very clever the way it's done. I like the fact that we are following Rose through this journey. The bits that sort of freaked me out a little bit, and I've sort of mentioned this several times now, but I had a bit of a problem with a trigger warning with another book this week, and it became an issue for me with a couple of other books this week, including this one. Only a smidge with this one, so it wasn't a huge deal for me with this, but only a smidge, and it was just a stalker, possession, obsessive kind of trigger that kicked off for me with another book this week. But in here there is the sort of trope trait of possession, obsession, stalker type thing. So again, just if that's a trigger for you, just be careful. It is kind of heavy, to be fair, but I knew that going in, and it wasn't until this other book that I realised that that was an actual thing for me. So anyway, really love the book. 4 out of 5 stars. Highly recommend it if you haven't picked it up. So underrated for a Stephen King novel as well, and massively underrated. Thank you to Bobby for pointing this out for me. Thank you to Bobby for pointing this out to me, this book. And also I had a great time with Bobby, Gav, Monica and Cody Buddy reading this. So thank you guys as well. Had a blast. I also read the book I Am Not a Serial Killer by Dan Wells. I have sort of explained this book as much as I possibly can previously, so I'm not going to go into it too much here, but it is a middle grade apparently. I gave this 4 stars. It's very, very good. Lots and lots of detail about embalming bodies and things like that. I was like, ugh, several times. So yeah, just if that gives you the heebie-jeebies, just be careful. It's not in here too often, but it is heavy when it's in here. So, but I enjoyed it. It was a really, really good book. This was one of the books that Siobhan picked for me, so I had a really good time with it. It was a great book. Great shout from Siobhan, and I now have the rest of the audiobooks for the rest of the series, so that's awesome. Then I read The Dry by Jane Harper. This is a thriller which is set in Australia, and we are following a guy called Aaron Falk, who used to live in this little town called Kiwara. He ended up, there's like several, this is like a really good, this is what I like in thrillers. So I've come to realise that I really like, I hate specifically domestic thrillers. I hate, so let me tell you what I like, because that might be easier. I really love psychological thrillers, and I love detective thrillers. You know, like proper crime detective type courtroom thrillers, if you like. So they're the kind of things that I like in thrillers. This is following Aaron Falk, who is a cop. He's now like a federal cop, so he sort of works on the money laundering side of things, but he used to be just a general cop, like day-to-day cop. I don't know whether it's homicide specifically or not. Anyway, it starts off with him going back to his old hometown called Kiwara in Australia, and from Sydney, which is where I think he's based now, or one of the bigger cities in Australia. His childhood best friend Luke Hadler is dead, and it looks like he's killed his wife, his son, and then himself, and left the baby girl. So Aaron's gone to the funeral. However, it turns out there is a side, so there's this story that's running forward, and then there's obviously a story in the background as well to Aaron and Luke and their group of friends. One of the girls died in their group of friends, and Aaron was blamed for it. So there's a lot of that going on as well. So the history's being dug up, there's the present issue as well, and it's just such a good book. I love the way Jane writes this. It's fantastic. It's done in such a way that you're following from Aaron's perspective, but every now and then you will get a flashback to something that happened previously, a conversation, or how they ended up getting to that point. And it's really, really clever the way it's written, and I'm really excited to pick up the next one in the series. So yeah, another great shout from Siobhan. I actually gave this one 5 stars. It was fantastic. The audiobook was brilliant as well. I just love that they gave an actual Aussie narrator rather than a Brit or American narrator trying to do an Aussie accent. It was so, so good. Really highly recommend. Definitely pick it up. And then finally I picked up Full Metal Alchemist Volume 1, which I only gave 3 stars to. I found this quite heavy in the first 30 pages or so on religion side of things, and it's not my thing. I'm not really into it. So I did continue with it and finish the Volume 1 off, and it did sort of pick up the pace a little bit and let go of the religion slightly, but I don't know whether I'll continue with it or not. But it was good to sort of pick it up and make that decision, because I've heard great things about Full Metal Alchemist. I know it's one of like the bigger, more well-known mangas around, so it was good to pick it up and give it a try, but I don't think it's necessarily for me. So I finished 4 books over the weekend. Obviously Rose Madder I was already part way through. Carrying on with books that I'm sort of already halfway through into. I didn't pick up 4th of July at all over the weekend. We kind of made the decision that we would finish this off this week, so that's what I'm planning on doing this week with this. Priory of the Orange Tree I ended up DNFing. I'm struggling with this massively. It's very, very heavy. As previously mentioned, there are like 15 pages in the back of this book just for the characters that are involved in the book alone, and then there's like a glossary of terms as well. So I'm just really struggling. I don't know who anybody is. I don't know what they're supposed to be doing. I'm very, very confused. Maybe I should have given it a bit longer. I only got to about page 120, but I don't know. I'm struggling with a book this size. Maybe you need to go to like maybe page 200 or something, but I just don't want to. I'm being really sort of strict with my DNFing this year, and I just feel like if I'm really not enjoying it, or I'm not feeling it, or I don't care about the characters, just not connecting to it, or I don't like the writing style, I'm just going to DNF it. So that's what I'm doing. I'm gutted about it because obviously I bought the book and the book is beautiful and it's got dragons in it, and I really am gutted, but it's just one of those things. Maybe high fantasy isn't my thing. I think I will find out over the next couple of months, because as previously mentioned, I am planning on picking up the Mistborn trilogy. Well, not the whole trilogy, Mistborn book 1 in April, so we'll see, because that is high fantasy and I have tried to read that before. I got about 50 pages in and put it down, so I don't know, maybe high fantasy just is not my thing. But we'll see what happens. Maybe this year will be the year that Steph Barrowclough decides what books she does and doesn't like. The Hunger Games I read a little bit more on Saturday morning, but I haven't picked it up since, so I'm still on page 148, hoping to finish that this week. And then I did start The Identity Thief by Alex Bryant yesterday, and not very far at all. I just picked it up and started it while Siobhan was getting dressed in the morning. So page 15 I got up to, not far at all, but really good start for the sake of like 13 pages. Well, it's not even 13 pages, it's for the sake of 7 pages. Really good start, has got me very intrigued indeed, and I'm planning on picking this one up tonight. So that's my reading update for you. I read 4 books over the weekend. I gave 2 of them 4 stars, 1 of them 5 stars, 1 of them 3. So yeah, it was a really good weekend. I had a lot of fun. It was so nice meeting Siobhan, and it was great having her here. The house is a bit quiet now apart from the wind outside, but yeah, it was a really good laugh, and I think we'll do it again. And I really enjoyed this whole she picks 2 books for me and I pick 2 books for her, because I will leave a link to her video and her channel down below so you can check out what I picked for her if you're interested. But let's just say she really enjoyed the books that she read for me, and she ended up reading a lot more than she thought she was going to. She ended up reading a lot more than I thought she was going to be honest. I think she ended up finishing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She might have finished 5 books over this weekend. So, I mean, 1 of those was a graphic novel and 3 of them were like comics, but she had a great time. She bought a couple of other books as well, so she might mention those in the vlog. 1 of them, because I just would not shut up going on about it. So yeah, make sure you check her video out as well if you want to know what I recommended she read and what she thought of those books as well, because I adore those books. They're some of my favourite books, so I highly recommend you go and check out that video. Link in the description below. But yeah, I had a great time, fab reading weekend, and looking forward to the last week of February. I've got a lot to read this week, so I am going to go and make a start on that, seeing as I'm home earlier than usual. But I shall see you in the next one. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a like. I would really appreciate it. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. So I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.